Welcome to the Explainer. You know, we've all seen it happen. A project kicks off, everyone's excited, it seems destined for success, and then it just completely falls apart. It's a super common story, but the reason why is almost never what you think. So today, we're building the ultimate blueprint for managing the single most critical, most complex, and most valuable part of any project: the people.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. We've all been on that project that started with so much energy and so much promise, only to end up delayed, way over budget, or just total chaos. What is the common thread in almost all of these failures?
Now, it's really easy to point fingers, right? We blame a lack of funding, or some software glitch, or a technical problem. And sure, those things can be factors, but more often than not, they're just symptoms of a much, much deeper issue.
Yep, you heard that right. The success or, the spectacular failure of a project almost always comes down to the team. So today we're going to dig in and build a guide to managing that resource, the human resource, effectively.
Okay, so if people are the key, where in the world do we even start? Well, we start by understanding what makes them tick. Before you can plan a single task or build a single timeline, you have to get a handle on the psychology that drives every single person on your team.
So, to create an environment where people actually want to do their absolute best work, you need a way to understand what really drives them. Let's look at one of the most powerful models for cracking this code.
The psychologist Abraham Maslow gave us this incredible tool with his hierarchy of needs. Just picture a pyramid. Down at the very bottom, you've got the basics, right? A steady paycheck, a safe work environment. Once that's covered, people start looking for a sense of belonging. They want to feel like part of the team. Then, they want to be recognized for what they do. And at the very, very top, they want challenging, meaningful work that lets them reach their full potential. As a leader, your job is to figure out where your people are on this pyramid and help them keep climbing.
And then another thinker, Frederick Herzberg, added this fascinating twist. He basically split motivational factors into two groups. First, you have hygiene factors. Think salary, a decent office, company policies. These things won't make people happy or motivated, but if they're bad, they will make everyone miserable. To actually motivate your team, you need motivators. We're talking about things like challenging work, real responsibility, and public recognition. You can't have one without the other.
All right, so with that psychological foundation in place, let's get practical. Let's shift from the why to the how. How do we structure the work to prevent all that confusion and burnout?
This simple question, who does what, is the source of so much project chaos. You know the drill. When roles are fuzzy and responsibilities overlap, things get dropped, work gets duplicated, and you end up with a whole lot of friction. We need a tool for clarity.
And here it is, the RACI chart. This thing is your best friend for bringing clarity to chaos. For every single task, you're going to assign one of four roles: who's responsible for actually doing the work, who is ultimately accountable for the outcome, who needs to be consulted for their input, and who just needs to be kept informed of the progress. This simple grid is a game changer. It eliminates all that confusion and creates a crystal clear map of ownership.
Okay, so now you know who's doing what. But you've got to make sure you're not asking them to do everything all at once. This is where something called resource leveling comes in. It's kind of a fancy term for a really simple idea. You adjust the project timeline to make sure no one is overloaded. Think of it as creating a sustainable pace for your team, so your star players don't burn out before you even get close to the finish line.
So, what's the big payoff for all this planning up front? Well, it's huge. By using tools like RACI charts and resource leveling, you get way better control over your team. You can actually shorten development times, you can lower costs, and, this is the most important part, you build much higher worker morale.
But look, a project team is so much more than just a list of names assigned to tasks on a spreadsheet. A group of individuals has to evolve. They have to grow into a cohesive unit. And let me tell you, that process does not happen by accident.
Bruce Tuckman gave us this fantastic roadmap for this whole evolution. His model breaks down team development into 5 stages. It starts with forming, right, where everyone's polite and on their best behavior. Then comes the inevitable storming phase, where disagreements and power struggles pop up. If you can get through that, you reach norming, where the team starts setting its own rules. That leads to performing, where the team is just a well-oiled machine, totally in sync. And finally, when the project's over, the team adjourns. The key takeaway here is that you can't skip stages. That storming phase, as uncomfortable as it can be, is an absolutely necessary step on the path to high performance. A manager's job isn't to prevent it, It's to guide the team through this natural journey.
And this brings us to the final, crucial piece of our puzzle, leadership. Look, having a great plan is one thing, but a true leader knows how to navigate the inevitable chaos and conflict that comes with any real project.
Now, that might sound a little bit crazy, but it's true. A team with zero conflict is often a team that's suffering from groupthink, where nobody is willing to challenge bad ideas. Healthy disagreement is often the spark that leads to innovation and way better solutions.
Research makes a really critical distinction here. There's task-related conflict, disagreements about the work itself, about the goals, about how to achieve them. This is productive. It makes the final product better. Then there's emotional conflict, the stuff based on personality clashes. This is destructive, and it absolutely tanks performance. A leader's job is to encourage the first type and shut down the second.
Great leaders have a whole toolkit for this stuff. Sometimes you need to confront an issue head-on to find the best solution. Other times, you might have to force a decision just to keep things moving. You can also smooth things over to protect a key relationship or find a compromise that everyone can live with. The real skill is knowing exactly which tool to pull out at the right time.
This quote gets to the very heart of modern project leadership. Studies show that the best leaders influence their teams through their own expertise and by jumping in to tackle challenges right alongside them. The managers who just rely on their job title and the threat of penalties, they're the ones who oversee failing projects. It's a powerful reminder that true influence is always earned, never just given.
Okay, so we've looked at the psychology that drives people, the blueprints that organize their work, the stages of team growth, and the kind of leadership it takes to guide them. After all of that, what is the single most important resource on any project?
It's you. It's the person who understands all of this. The project manager, the team leader who masters the art of motivation, planning, team development, and conflict resolution. That person is the true key to success. They are the ultimate resource.